Well, here is something you're not hearing a whole lot about. Governor Mitt Romney gives a greater percentage of his income to charity than does the president. 29% to 22%. That works out to $4 million versus $172,000. Keep in mind Mitt Romney made a lot more money. But instead of talking about that, the mainstream media focusing on the governor's 14% tax rate. That's not a big surprise to my next guest, townhall.com's Guy Benson. Guy, it is what it is. The media typically picks and chooses, and it didn't choose to think this was important. What do you make of it?
Well, there's a narrative, Neil, and you know how this works, so you just sort of indicated right there. The media, which is mostly comprised of liberal Democrats, that's just a fact, they've decided that Mitt Romney is a selfish, miserly, greedy, potentially criminal person who really doesn't care about nearly half the country, and he's certainly not particularly compassionate or generous or likable. So when we actually get information about what Mitt Romney does, not just the talk that he talks, but the walk that he has walked for his entire life, and it tells a different story, all of a sudden we just don't hear too much about it.
Well, you know, it goes back to another story when it comes to just basic money issues. And I guess I say this as Fox's resident nerd, on the left or the right, eyes glaze over when you talk about tax rates, when you talk about when you pay capital gains and tax on dividends and the rest. It is money that is being taxed again. You're paying for it again. But again, it falls on deaf ears. It's too much for a lot of minds to comprehend that the governor is essentially paying this money all over again. But it does feed a narrative of, well, he's just a rich, selfish mogul. So releasing a return or 2 or 3 or 4 or even 10 years, would it change that narrative at all?
Well, it hasn't yet. I mean, he released a notarized summary of 2 decades worth of his taxes that was put together by the analysts at a very well-respected firm, PricewaterhouseCoopers, where they said, look, on average, the Romneys paid a 20% effective rate, and they owed and paid taxes every single year. This totally blows up the lie, the rumor that Harry Reid's imaginary friend told him. Remember, he repeated that on the Senate floor a few months ago. This totally blows up a bunch of Obama ads that said, look, Mitt Romney pays lower tax rates than you do. Actually, the effective tax rate he's been paying over the last 20 years is almost double that of the average American.
You know, the law being it is, and this is the rate that he pays. I'm not even as much into what he's paying in taxes as much as we as a country are paying in taxes and what we're getting for our money. But that debate gets forgotten in this other theater stuff, you know?
Oh, I mean, definitely. And just to go back to the charitable giving thing, I mean, he gave 30% of his income to charity last year. 30%. And now the new complaint, and this is rich, from the left is, look, Mitt Romney overpaid his taxes in 2011, and he did so because he didn't take all the charitable deductions that he could have to inflate his effective rate to make it look like blah, blah. I mean, it's like he can't win. They're saying he pays too much in taxes and gives too much to charity. That's the new knock on Mitt Romney. It is otherworldly.
It is indeed. Guy Benson, and then start picking and choosing the charities to which he gives. You can't win. Guy, thank you very, very much.
Thanks, Neil.